The Looney Box! Welcome to the Looney Box, and do I have a treat for you today? If you are a Garbage Pail Kids fan like I am. Yes, those are the mini mystery figures. We had fun with those on another video, and I couldn't believe they actually released something like that. But I tell you what, they were fun as hell. They were very well made, and yeah, go check that video out if you haven't had a chance. But let's today get right into the reason why we are here. Of all movies on the planet, did you ever think the Garbage Pail Kids was going to get a Blu Ray release? I did not, honestly, as a fan. I know the DVD was a pretty decent seller for the studio, but I did not know that it was sold well enough for somebody to be interested in doing a Blu Ray release. So as a fan, when I found out about this, there wasn't a whole lot of fanfare about it. It was kind of quiet initially, but nonetheless, I was stoked as a fan. And you could pre-order it online. It was a release from Scream Factory, and if you pre-ordered it, you got this really rad limited edition poster with the new cover art that's been designed for the Blu Ray. And this is a really cool poster. The only thing that I have against the poster is the fact that it was a 4-ply poster. It is the 4-fold poster. Would have been really cool if they would have rolled these instead of creasing them like that. But nonetheless, really cool. I was super stoked to add this to my collection of Garbage Pail Kids stuff. Something I've been personally collecting since the 80s when I was a kid in grade school. And yeah, so I was lucky enough to get 2 of these posters before they ran out. And anyway, let's get right into talking about the Blu Ray today. Now, this is apparently a new transfer of the film. I have to be honest with you. I wasn't that impressed with the picture quality difference between the DVD release and the Blu Ray release. It is a little crisper, the sound's a little tighter, and they've kept everything pretty much intact that I can tell, but there wasn't a whole lot of upgrade as far as picture goes to the DVD release. So I was a little disappointed in that part of it. However, it does have some really cool things on there as far as new features. There were some new interviews, some new commentary, and things like that. So it was cool nonetheless. As horrible as this movie did in the 80s, to actually see some of the original people talking about it and giving us new insight into the film is something I never thought would happen. So that was really cool. And what's really neat is they've brought back the original art from the VHS release. This was also on the sound cassette, the audio cassette cover, and the record cover. So this has come back. They've done a nice job of reproducing that. And what I do like about this insert that comes with the film is that you have a double-sided. So you can switch the insert to whichever artwork you prefer. You can have the new cover that they've given you or the original. As nostalgic as I am, I prefer the original art to the new. The new art's cool, and I appreciate that they've done that, but I am going to stick to the old design. So, one of the other things to talk about on this that I found to be And I don't want to knock this release because I am excited that we did get a new release. I'm excited for the new art. I'm excited for the new transfer, and the slight upgrades in sound and picture are worth it. I thought the included additional content was a little light for a Shout Factory release. So I'm gonna knock it just a little bit in points for that, because I think they could have probably done a little bit more than they did with this. In some ways it feels like putting a shiny coat of paint on an old car and just kind of repackaging it and trying to sell it again. So it is cool that we got this, but there are some things that I think could have been improved upon. If you haven't had a chance to pick up Garbage Pail Kids on DVD and you're a true fan, well, then you really aren't a true fan if you haven't picked it up after all these years. But if you haven't had a chance to pick it up, I definitely recommend picking up this Shout Factory release. Who knows, it's like the other Shout Factory releases. You never know how long this is going to be available or how long it's going to be around. So I would recommend picking up at least a copy. I, being a Garbage Pail Kids collector, I have 2 copies. One that's going to stay sealed and in my collection, and then one for personal viewing. But I would recommend you pick up a copy. If you have the DVD and you're a super fan, I'd recommend picking it up just for the collection part of it. The aspect is probably worth it. If you're kind of a light fan, or you think the movie is just horrible, you hate it, I wouldn't recommend picking this up, especially if you've already got the DVD to it. That being said, I would love to hear comments from anybody that's had a chance to pick this up and what they think of the release. One other interesting thing I would like to point out, and I'm not as educated as some of the people out there on the different versions of the film that are out, but the way that I viewed it, it seemed to me it was missing a few of the key scenes in the Blu Ray release compared to other versions of the film. Let me know if that's incorrect, but I've seen this enough times on VHS and some of the old bootleg Japan import copies of DVD when this first wasn't available. And I've also, of course, seen the DVD personally dozens of times. But it seemed to me there were scenes that were missing in this latest version. I don't know if that's because they didn't have an original film with the full version of the film to do a transfer. I was fortunate enough to go out and see this film some years ago at a theater here that was playing it. It was doing a one-time showing only. This was about 10 years ago at a local film house. And the claim that we were told there was somebody that had actually brought the physical film down for the film show. They had said it was the only copy of the film in its entirety left in existence. So I don't know how true that is. That's just what they said there during the film showing. And if that's the case, maybe that's the reason we're missing pieces of the film that should be in there. So little disappointed on that as well. I don't know what the backstory is on that. If you do, I'd love to see some comments and somebody let me know what information they have on that. But all in all, I'm pleased with the release. I love to see a movie of this bad of quality, I guess. It's bad in a good way. I love to see a film like this get some new life and be brought out on the latest format. So if sales do well, maybe we'll be fortunate enough to see another release of this on whatever the next format turns out to be. And if not, this may be the end of it. So anyway, let me know your experience with the film. Let me know if you've purchased the Blu Ray of this, and let me know if you were impressed with it, you weren't impressed, and what things you would have liked to have seen done better, things like that. And comment in the section below. And until next time, when we do some more videos on full moon pictures, we also have some other videos up on the mystery minis on Garbage Pail Kids, and we will always be doing videos on the newest Garbage Pail Kids cards, merchandise, things like that. So until we see you next time, keep it culty and keep it loony, and we'll see you then.
I'd hate to be your toes if you don't like and subscribe.